Okay, so one of the things that God tries to do with you is he wants to instill discipline for you. And this is why. God wants you to do so much you don't even understand. You don't understand what you're capable of. You don't know what God has placed in you. What has God deposited in you? Yeah, he made an investment in you and you don't know what that is. But God may have called you to do many things. You could have such a heavy mantle on you. You could have a variety of spiritual giftings. God can want you to work in many different arenas in this life, fulfilling many different roles and responsibilities. Think about the magnitude of what the great I am wants to do with you in this life. Oh, God scours the world to look for one that he can use. He's looking for the one that he can send. And what will happen when he sees somebody that is surrendered to him, that has lost their life to him, that trust in him? What will he do with that individual that will allow him to come up in and through them, to create through them? To deliver souls through them. Somebody who's moldable, somebody that's pliable, that's flexible, that's responsive, that will do what God requires them to do at any given moment of the day. Oh, what God will do with such a man, what God will do with such a woman is great. The harvest is much, but the laborers are few. What will he do with the laborer? This is why God needs you to have discipline. God wants you to fulfill all the roles that he has for you. What does he have for you? Father, mother, wife, sister, brother. What is it in your household? What is it for yourself, the character that he wants you to develop? What is it with him, the relationship he wants you to have with him? In which you're spending time, you're getting to know his voice, you're understanding his character, his will, his heart. What is it that he wants to do with you in this life? It's much. You have to understand what God wants from you. That's why he needs you disciplined. You can't just be out there doing anything and everything and having anything go. You cannot be so loosey-goosey. You cannot be so nonchalant about life. You cannot move around people haphazardly. You cannot engage activities just as things come and just fly by the wind. God needs you disciplined. He needs you grounded in him. He needs to be able to order your steps and say, this is what we're doing at this moment, at this time, in this day, or it will overwhelm you like an avalanche. What he wants you to do. You will suffocate under the pressure of what it is that he wants you to do. You will drown. You will drown in the magnitude of what he has for you. You will be crushed under the weight. This is why God calls you unto himself, because he needs to get you ready. Yeah, God has a boot camp. He has a consolidated period of time in which he wants to process you to get you ready for what he wants to take you into it, because it's much. See, I want you to ask yourself if you want the God thing, because if you want the God thing, you can't do the God thing without God. Go ahead and try. And that could be the problem in your life, is because you are operating in what your gifting is and what your talents are, but you doing it without God and it ain't working. It ain't supposed to work, because see, God will allow you to peek behind the curtain. He will allow you to be able to see and allow you to experience a little bit, a taste of what he has for you, to build up your hunger, to build up your drive for it, to have you have some exposure to this thing so that you're not left unaware. Yeah, he'll have you start moving in certain ways to allow you to be able to see what it's like, but you're not operating in the fullness of it. You can't operate in the fullness of it without God. Yeah. God needs you unto himself so that he can process you. You got to learn to develop this relationship with the Lord and let this thing bloom and blossom as he desires in a way that's natural, like you would any other relationship. He wants you to know his voice. He wants you to know his heart. He wants you to know his character, his will for you. Yeah, he wants you in step with him. And what you're learning to do with him is he's going to start telling you to do things and start talking to you and start building with you. And what you're learning to do is this dance with the Father. He needs to teach it to you, but he needs you disciplined. You can't be out there reckless and thinking that you just out there all free. No, God needs you moving with more specificity. God needs you going to a specific place. See, your destiny, your destination is at a fixed point. He needs you to get there. It ain't just some like idea and some dream. Yeah, it ain't just in the stars, in the cosmos somewhere, some nonsense. No, it's a real place God wants to get you to. It's a real thing that God wants you to operate in. It's a real identity God got for you. It's a real purpose God needs you to move in. It's real. But he needs you to get there. And you can't do it any old kind of way. You got to have discipline. Let me tell you why. Because anybody that's ever done any kind of land navigation knows that when you charting a course, even a few degrees off over a short period of time may be unrecognizable. You may not notice. But with a few degrees off for an extended period of time, you're going to find yourself so far off the mark, you may not even get back to where you were so that you could start over again and actually do it right and get to where you were supposed to go. Even the small degrees matter. When you wake up, when you go to bed, God needs to be able to be all up in that so he can lead that. Because every step matters. See, we be thinking the moments don't matter, but the moments add up to a lifetime in God. When you be letting these moments slip, you are risking your destiny. Look at the moments in your life. Look at the seconds in your life as degrees. And every single time you let them slip over time, you're going to be so off the mark, you ain't going to know what to do. See, the devil try to get you to think moments don't matter, right? It's just a moment I can get back. Can you? Can you? Once when the moment gone, what you gonna do with it? It's gone. You don't get that moment back. Yeah, it's okay if I sleep in. Yeah, it's okay. I ain't got to do that. I ain't got to engage that person right now. I don't feel like doing this right now. I don't feel like doing that. I'm gonna put that aside. The moments matter. The degrees matter. Discipline matters. Stop giving yourself passes. This ain't a soft, lily white, oh, I could just chill. I could just do what I want to do. It don't really matter. You ain't going to get nowhere like that. God needs you disciplined. God needs you focused. God needs you about your grizzly. Yeah, God needs you to get some grit. God needs to be able to lead you and guide you. Stop blowing off the moment. Stop hesitating. Stop pausing. Stop blowing off the things that God is telling you to do and do it. The degrees matter. The moments matter. Get disciplined and get focused on what God has for you. Talk soon.